love this board.
We'll call to order the meeting of the Regional Transportation Commission of Southern Nevada. Ms. Quigley.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Members of the Commission, your agenda is in order and ready for your approval.
Motion on the floor. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you. Next item is your General Manager's report, and we do have a few slides to share with you. First of all, October is Pedestrian Safety Awareness Month, and each of you have on your lapels, I see, our orange ribbons symbolizing our respect for this month. During the month of October, local law enforcement will dedicate targeted efforts at more than 30 community-wide events promoting safety, and this collective group of organizations, which includes the RTC, is hosting a public service announcement contest in order to gain added coverage in their efforts to promote safety. The City of Las Vegas, Henderson, North Las Vegas, the RTC, NDOT's Zero Fatalities, Safe Community Partnership, all local law enforcement agencies and more, the list goes on, have dedicated time and effort to roll this awareness program out, and it kicked off just last week with our press event, at which we had several members with us. So thank you all for allowing your representatives to come to the table and be a part of this awareness campaign to help our community. Next slide. Also, on September 25th, the RTC, together with the Fiesta Henderson Casino, officially opened its 12th park and ride location. As you know, these public-private partnerships help to expand commuter options in Henderson and for those in the downtown area. This particular park and ride will be an express. It is on the route of our Henderson Downtown Express, and it actually does move people directly from the Henderson, from the Fiesta Casino into the downtown area in about 30 minutes. So the Fiesta Henderson has been a great partner with the RTC in this effort, and we are excited about this new park and ride location. We had Viva Bike Vegas recently on Saturday, September 21st. We hosted our 6th annual Viva Bike Vegas ride. This year's ride attracted almost 2,000 riders, including our own Councilwoman March, and continues to attract riders from throughout the U.S. and internationally. This year, the ride was recognized as a top 10 Grand Fondo in the U.S. by National Cycling Magazine, and the 2006 Tour de France champion Oscar Perillo was this year's Grand Marshal, and quite the draw for the rider, and signed autographs after the ride. Driver recognitions. Yeah, every quarter we like to recognize our best and brightest operators from both our fixed route system and paratransit services as part of the RTC's ongoing driver recognition program. These professionals are very much the face of the RTC to our more than 60 million riders, and we certainly appreciate everything they do to make us look good. First, we'd like to recognize 2 operators from our paratransit division, which is operated by First Transit. The first is Milas Love. Is Milas with us? Milas, you want to come on down as we talk about you? He's a dedicated operator who's been with us since May of 2011. His colleagues have noted that Milas is always willing to help when needed, has a vast knowledge of his job, and displays great care for the well-being and safety of his customers. Also from First Transit is Charles Manning. Charles, if you could come down, if you're with us, who has been an operator since March of 2011. His peers find Charles to be conscientious, personable, customer-oriented, and the consummate professional. Congratulations to Milas and Charles. And we have for you a token of appreciation. We'll get some pictures.
Is it a gold bus?
I want to thank the RTC for the honor of this award. I had no idea I would be getting anything like this, but it sure is a pleasure to have.
Aww.
I want to thank you so very much.
I'd just
just like to say first and foremost, thanks to First Transit. Secondly, to the RTC for this award. My sister, Rhoda Mills, she's been taking this service for a while, but she no longer takes it. It's a very good service, great service, and thank you very much. Yes, ma'am.
Well, you all can stay standing because we have a few more special people with us. Next, we'd like to recognize an operator from both Keolis and MV Transportation who operate the RTC's fixed route system. From Keolis, we'd like to recognize Patrick Seraphin. Since August of 2007, Patrick has received multiple customer compliments that he is an exceptional driver with unparalleled customer service. Patrick is a hard worker and always willing to go that extra mile for his customers and colleagues. If we could have Patrick come down.
He's here.
Oh, he's on his way. Okay, good. And from MV, we've got operator James Schenke being recognized for the professionalism he displays during the many special assignments and events he has received over the past few months. James is also a true help to dispatchers because of his knowledge of all the routes and coach systems. So congratulations, Patrick.
Good morning, everybody. I just want to say definitely thank you to RTC, Keolis Transit especially, for acknowledging me, the passengers that call in all the time that say whatever it is they have to say about me. I wish I knew each one that did have anything to say about me so I could tell them thank you, but for everybody that's had anything to say about me, thank you so much for everything, and it makes me want to come to work every day to do what I do to take care of everybody else. Thank you very much.
Didn't know I was going to give a speech. Anyway, I just want to thank the RTC and MV for this opportunity, and just keep it rolling.
Have a seat. You're done. Mr. Chairman, that concludes your general manager's report. Your next item is to receive the Nevada Department of Transportation Director's report. Now, neither Rudy nor Tracy Larkin are able to be here with us today because you may have heard the government is shut down. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. They wanted you to know that the federal government shutdown has not been affecting their highways programs. The Carson City Division of FHWA has not had to implement furloughs. FHWA, these are some notes that Rudy's left with me and asked me to share with you. FHWA is not directly impacted because FHWA programs and operations are not supported by the annual appropriations. NDOT is in its public comment period for the 2014 to 2017 Statewide Transportation Improvement Program, also known as the STIP, and the 2014 Annual Work Program, called the AWP, which will require FHWA, FTA, and EPA approval. FTA and EPA approval may take longer because of the shutdown, but the STIP, the State Transportation Improvement Program, is currently in its public comment period and does not go to those agencies until after the Transportation Board acceptance. So no actual delay has occurred yet. NDOT hopes that Congress comes to some budget agreement at the same time that a deal is reached on the debt ceiling, and he's hoping for October 17th of 2013 this year. So impacts of the government shutdown on FTA programs, which is the Federal Transit Administration. The FTA has furloughed roughly 95% of its staff. FTA reimbursement of grant programs is suspended. This is of particular concern for the rural transit providers. Further FTA financial obligations are not able to go forward due to the shutdown, and we will be kept apprised through Rudy as to what's going on. So that is his update, which brings us to any questions. Not that I'd be able to answer them, but yeah.
Commissioner.
Thank you. I just wanted to acknowledge your staff for helping with the human trafficking posting of the posters in such a quick way. The Interfaith Council and Nevadans for Common Good had approached myself, and RTC and the airport have just done a phenomenal job, and they went up today, and hopefully it'll help save a child's life in the long run. Thank you.
Thank you. That was Carl Scarborough and his group, MJ Maynard. They are wonderfully responsive and responsible when it comes to taking commission requests and following them through. So, thanks.
Other comments or questions from the board? Okay.
Very good. That brings us to your first citizens participation period, or participation item.
This is time set aside for citizen participation. Those wishing to speak on a specific agenda item today, now is the appropriate time. We have Jose Mendoza on items number 29, 38, 39, and 45. Good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Jose Mendoza Jr., President for the ATU Local 1637. As per item number 29, our local just wants to know these $43,000 are federally funded. Per item 29, that's our question.
Continue. This is public comment.
Okay, and number 38, this project, is it also federally funded? Number 39, is this project also federally funded? And number 45, the money that's being used out of, I'm assuming federal grants, are these coaches being built here in the United States? That's our question.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if we could, now that we have those questions,
Got it.
at the appropriate time, get those answers back to Mr. Mendoza. Anyone else wishing to speak on a specific posted agenda item?
Good morning. Bobby Bracken with RO Bus Sales, 2701 Westwood Drive, Las Vegas. I'm here to speak on, well, first of all, I'd like to acknowledge our commissioners for showing up to work today. We really appreciate that. The agenda item is number 33. It's to supply compressed natural gas buses to the RTC. I was wondering how I was going to start this, and earlier in the hall I was talking to Lydia, who was the contract procurement, who did the contract procurement or the bid procurement for this contract. And we went back to almost 4 years ago. We've been in business in Vegas for over 10 years. We all grew up here, work here. A lot of our employees were born and raised here. And although we've been in business for 10 years, we'd never done any business with the RTC. At that time, we asked the RTC, hey, we're a local company, we'd love to do business with you. What do we have to do to do it? I mean, what kind of company do we have to be? What do we have to do to meet the specifications and the standards to actually do business with the RTC? After that meeting, it was very impressive, all the feedback we got from Tina and her staff, all the way from the top to the very bottom, of just that. Everyone, you know, they let us know. We've been fortunate enough to do 3 contracts now with the RTC, and each one we've grown as a company, and not just in revenue, but in the way we do things, our processes, the logistics of the job. Somewhere during this bid process, it was stated that, man, do you know the RTC of Southern Nevada has the toughest and most stringent technical specifications of any agency in the country? And they said, not only that, then their schedule. Like, their schedule is so demanding. And on top of it, once you deliver the buses, you've got to warranty them. And if there's a campaign, you got to come out and you got to work on them and keep them up. I thought to myself, I said, yeah, isn't that cool? Like, what kind of company do you have to be? You know, how do you have to elevate your bar and your game to be able to provide and do a contract with the RTC. You know, it's much more apparent that it's not just delivering buses to the RTC. It's a relationship. You know, we're a small business. The RTC is getting behind small business in Las Vegas. So although that was exciting for us because this is a very complex contract, you know, all those things now we can use in our company for all of our clients. You know, we get better as a company working with the RTC. And then the other thing that even made this contract, you know, more special and stuff for us was, you know, we always talk about small business in Las Vegas and locals. You know, 4 years ago, we were at the toughest economic time that I can ever remember in my lifetime here in Vegas. And every time we've gone through those in the past 25 years in different businesses and different industries I've been in, you know, the locals stay here. When the gold dries up, other people might leave, but locals stay here. And with this contract, the way the bid was written, the way the contract's written, is we're able to bring in other small business, Las Vegas businesses, into this to help us build this, build these buses. I have a couple with me. I have Tom McCracken, Massini Mobile Installs. He'll be doing, you know, the cameras and the navigation systems, things like that. Shane Lloyd with Gecko Wraps, who'll be doing a lot of the different graphics and signage inside the buses. We have a couple of DBEs that we're able to use. They're also local, and at least a half a dozen other companies that we'll be bringing in on this process. So I want to commend the commission and the RTC that, you know, I can thank you for my company and what it's been done for us, but, you know, if you ask me, that's making small business work in Las Vegas. So thank you very much. I appreciate it. Have a good morning.
Thank you. Thanks, Bobby. And for some of our newer board members, as was stated, the RTC from day one had worked closely with RO Bus Sales to get them up to speed on how to compete locally. They've not only gone from ground zero to where we are today, but also last year was recognized as the State of Nevada Small Business of the Year. And although you promised to send us pictures from your DC trip, I don't think the board has received any of those, but a great success story. Certainly highlights the RTC and the staff and working with the company, but as importantly, as was stated, we always talk about business locally and creating jobs locally. Well, here's an example of exactly what we talk about, and it's a great success story, and only in the first few chapters. We expect you to continue to grow and hire more people and partner with more local firms, so congratulations.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the
I'm sorry.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
I was hoping I could.
Did we not say enough nice things about you? Please, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Shane Lloyd, owner of Gecko Wraps. I'm also chairman of the United States Army Advisory Board. When I got out of the military, I was left with the choice of staying in or going in as an officer or continuing to do a small business. A really hard decision for someone like me, and I knew I could do one really well. So I decided to go business. I knew one day I'd work with the Army again, on my terms. And the way I've kind of grown my business is becoming in the community, working with people like Bobby, obviously we've done work for RTC, we wrap their bus fare stations, and we want to just tell you that we appreciate everything that you've done for us as a company, because it has made us grow. It's made me a better company. My employees value that opportunity and value everything that we learn, because our processes increase. Revenue-wise, what we like to do is we look at all that and we put it right back into our company to grow it. I help retain jobs, I grow, and whether I'm making money, it's not important right now. It's about growing. And I want to see my company flourish and grow, and it's people like you that help that happen. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I appreciate all that. So.
Thank you. Thank you for your service also. We have some ties to the Army up here. Councilwoman's son is a decorated Ranger, and my son is with the 82nd Airborne, jumping out of perfectly good planes.
I just had to say that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Chairman, your next item is your consent agenda, which consists of items 5 through 63 and may be taken in one motion. Comments or comments? Motion on the floor.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed? Motion carries.
You're not going to believe this, but guess what? That brings us to item number 64, which is to conduct your final citizens participation period.
This is our second time set aside for public participation. Those wishing to speak to the board, now is the time.
Again, Jose Mendoza Jr., ATU Local 1637 President. At this time, I would like to file my formal complaint like I always usually do. I got this letter for the commissioners I would like to read, and you guys take it from there. So here,
Tina.
somebody could just pass it to the commissioners. And first of all, I just wanted to say I don't really like being here complaining, but we don't have no choice, but we have to represent the bargaining unit the best we can. And at this time, as you're aware that you have placed our bargaining unit in a very uncomfortable situation, that there might be some service disruptions to one of the yards in which you decided to force upon us to deal with. You are being forewarned that our bargaining unit employees will not approve any loss of what we currently have, and it appears that this might happen with MV Transportation. Certain economic issues have been commented to us by MV that we will definitely see a problem with, but again, the commissioners don't care about our bargaining unit employees. You rather listen to the 2 general managers and 3 assistant general managers, which one of them is Mr. Keating here, whose salaries and benefits exceed over $1 million annually. And one is still a general manager, which under the Transparent Nevada is Mr. Jacob Snow. How can the RTC justify a former general manager, a public employee, under the payroll of RTC at a cost of $164,000 annually? RTC commissioners rather approve 44 public employees for a total of $6 million, $473,120. When you add all 5 and 44 for 49 public employees, that's a total of $7 million, $636,335. That's taxpayers of Nevada. ATU is tired of being treated like trash, which that's what we feel we've been treated by the RTC staff. But yet the RTC commissioners take care of their few. Trash collectors make more money than the hardworking drivers. Drivers get assaulted, spat on, abused with profanity, and etc. When is RTC going to open their eyes and start listening to the hardworking citizens of Las Vegas, which we are the subcontracted employees? If you can negotiate with SEIU, then it is time that RTC commissioners start looking into doing the same with the ATU Local 1637. Please keep in mind that I did not even mention the cost between SEIU and the RTC. Thank you.
Thank you.
And to my questions earlier, am I going to get any answers?
Thank you. Anyone else wishing to speak to the RTC?
Good morning. My name is Roberta Mendonça, not to be confused with the last speaker. I think we spell it differently. My organization is Go Rail, and we are a nonprofit that works out of Alexandria, Virginia. I brought some materials, basic background, and some business cards. We work with locally elected officials to speak to the public benefits of freight railroads and how they impact positively local communities, counties, and states. The public benefits come basically from the AASHTO report, the Bottom Line Freight Rail report, where they've outlined such benefits as cleaner air, less gridlock and congestion, fuel efficiency. A train can carry a ton of cargo, 486 miles on a gallon of diesel fuel, less gridlock and congestion, and less wear and tear on our local roads. The other part of our message would be to deal with the opposite problem, which is measures at the federal level that would shrink or hamper rail capacity. And we have concerns with efforts right now to change the federal weight limit on trucks, which is currently set at 80,000 pounds. I'm, again, welcoming any questions that you might have. Would love to be a resource. We have actually worked with some of the cities and communities that you represent in the past. And if my face is new, maybe my name is not. I appreciate the opportunity to speak with you this morning, and thank you very much.
Thank you, Roberta. Pat Anderson.
Well, good morning.
Good morning.
I did have a private meeting on Wednesday with Cindy and Amber. A lot of things were happening. This is something that I'm sure you're aware of. It's called a pipe. I'm sure you're all aware of it. One person was on the Tarapacana bus, was smoking the pipe. And it was actually, you could smell marijuana. I mean, it was not strong, but you could smell it. She had matter of fact, she had a child with her. And we didn't want to, if it was the passengers, we were concerned about that. The time point I brought up again with the drivers. The drivers are great drivers. So being the time point with them is, working from point 8, clear from Red Rock, clear to Hollywood, and going all the way up there, it's the Charleston bus and everything. It's a long route. And even if it's a Sahara route, they don't need to be, we have to be the time, there shouldn't be a time point, because the people going down Sahara, they're driving quite naturally, very, very fast, and they also have all these car dealerships. So quite naturally, you should be able to take that pressure off of them. I brought it up to the meeting, and I know each driver should be making $30 an hour. That's my personal opinion. They should be making more than that, but I'm saying between 30 and 40. They're out there. Their lives are on the line. And they also need, we brought this up again with this, the shield. They should have, you have it on certain buses. They have it on the protected buses, on the MAX bus. These drivers should be protected. These doctors, like you said, a lot of these drivers are being spit on. They're being abused. People are put I've seen them, and I try not to get involved. They put a quarter in the machine. Is there one, things like that. It's a lot going on. We need to protect these drivers as much as we can. A driver that works after 9, I feel personally, this is my personal opinion, a driver works after 9 o'clock should get differential. That means $40 an hour. That's my opinion. Because he's out there from 10 o'clock at night to 3 hours in the morning, and there's a bunch of weirdos out there, okay? So, as I say, and the people need to respect, have their fare ready, which is very important. I know a lot of times I don't try not to get involved. I know you all told me not to get involved, and I've been very good in that respect. I've been trying awfully hard. But again, I'm observing things. So as I say, just try to help these drivers and protect them as much as you can. What we need is vacation drivers. If we respect the drivers, we would have so many drivers, because New York City has so many drivers. They have vacation drivers, they have drivers to relieve drivers for lunch, breaks, and everything, because they have respect. So let us try to recruit. I mean, if I'll sit with anybody. Let's try to recruit these drivers and more drivers, okay? And have a good day and have a nice weekend.
Thank you, Patricia. Anyone else wishing to speak to the board? Seeing and hearing no one, close this portion of the public comment. Councilwoman?
Did you designate someone to answer Mr. Mendoza's question?
Yes, we got the questions down, and we will provide him with the answers, but not during the public comment period.
Okay, so he understands that.
Yes, he
the
does.
answers will be provided.
Thank you, Councilwoman. Yes, as a reminder, today is the RFP Hit the Street for I-11.
That's correct.
The cone of silence is now down upon
today.
us. Okay, thank you. Thank you all. This meeting is adjourned.